At an age when most Americans slow down, 60-year-old Mark Sisson feels the healthiest he's ever been. And that's saying a lot because he used to be an all-star athlete.
I wound up being one of the best runners in the country. I was a marathoner, and then I turned into a long-distance triathlete.
But all those years, Mark hid a secret.
As fit as I appeared to be in terms of my racing skills and ability to go fast, I really endured a lot of issues with health problems.
They ranged from sinus pain to respiratory infections to heartburn and more.
When I got into my 40s, I developed arthritis in my fingers to the extent that I would kind of cringe if a strong guy would put his hand out to shake mine.
The worst irritable bowel syndrome that plagued him since childhood.
But I lived my life sort of wondering what gas stations are open with a bathroom. On the way to the airport, for instance, or, if I have something I've got to do in 2 hours, how can I be ready for that without having, an episode?
Searching for relief, he tried all kinds of doctors and drugs, but nothing helped. Until...
One day, a bunch of years ago, my wife said, I've given up grains. Why don't you try giving up grains for 30 days and see what happens?
All of his problems virtually disappeared.
The irritable bowel syndrome that had run my life, literally, for most of my life, went away. The heartburn went away. The arthritis went away.
Although Mark was thrilled to finally feel better, he was also frustrated because his cure, giving up gluten, was so simple. Yet all those years, conventional medicine never had a clue. Dr. Patrick Fratellone agrees.
When I went to medical school, I did not have a course on nutrition.
The Manhattan cardiologist learned about nutrition on his own, and as a result feels many of his colleagues prescribe drugs and even perform surgery when only a change in diet might be needed.
Physicians in general do not know about nutrition.
Dr. Fratellone believes the root of most diseases lies in the small intestine, also known as the gut. That's why he advises his patients to avoid gluten. No wheat of any kind, not even whole wheat. Also, no rye, barley, or oats.
Gluten is bad because it's a protein that causes an insult to the gut. So if you insult the gut, there's 3 things that can happen. You can't absorb food and its nutrition properly. You won't absorb your vitamins. You cannot make vitamin D. Vitamin D3 is made in the small intestines. And 90% of the happy hormone serotonin is made in the small intestines. So if gluten is causing an insult to the gut, you could see the cascade of effects it has to the whole body.
Many people who suffer from gluten insensitivity are unaware they even have it, and so are their doctors.
The symptoms of gluten intolerance vary from gastrointestinal, which could be bloating, gas, diarrhea, constipation, to unbelievable other symptoms like tremors, dermatitis, itching, scratching. It could be nerve disorders. So it varies from patient to patient.
People who have the most extreme reaction to eating gluten have what's known as celiac disease.
Celiac's an allergy, not a sensitivity. The difference is a person who is celiac that has gluten can get severely ill, meaning more than the symptoms we talked about. They could have bloody diarrhea, they could have a seizure, they could lose eyesight. So being celiac and having gluten is very dangerous.
Dr. Fratellone says for some people, avoiding gluten is only part of the solution. He says since gluten can damage the gut, repair it the natural way with herbal teas like chamomile, peppermint, or slippery elm. So for better health, consider going against the grain by giving up gluten. You could end up losing weight and feeling great. Lori Johnson, CBN News.